Hey, good morning, traders. Greg here. Well, market is acting or continuing to act bullishly. We'll see if last Friday was just a crazy move. Clearly, the FANG stocks have a lot of work to do to recover, but this morning they are holding up pretty well. And you know, looking across the various markets, if you look at the Dow, which I don't have up here at the moment, just got the S&P futures. You looked at the Dow on Friday or the diamonds, nothing wrong. Up day, uptrend, so on. The wild move was in, the FANG stocks, the Nasdaq 100, the semiconductors, and you had this wide whippy outside bar here with the tails on it in the S&Ps. And so yesterday we got the bottoming tail bar. Buyers stepped up in and around the beginning of the first reversal period, around 10 o'clock. And right now the futures are up a bit. You can see here on the 30-minute chart. And the way they're acting here, they're in an uptrend, kind of whippy. And, and unless something changes, they get below this low on Friday. The assumption is that they'll go higher. And the weekly trend is up. Nasdaq, there's the damage. In the stocks that we spoke about, they closed below the 20 on Friday, down even lower on yesterday, and now they're recovering. So it's a big down day. It has to repair the damage if it's going to be able to do that. But those stocks that came down that way are going to create a lot of uncertainty. So thing is, unless you want to play a 1 to 3 day bounce, that could happen. There's probably going to be other things for swing trades to focus on. Oil, no bounce here yet, just topping tail. So that kind of, looks like it can go lower if it breaks down under yesterday's low and obviously under these lows right here. But, it came down hard. It tried to bounce and got a topping tail. So one of the things that, I created for myself a couple of decades ago to stay in the moment, so to speak, looking at what's happening was, I called it my 3-bar rule, meaning, just say, for example, and this isn't a setup that I'd want to take, I'd look for more of a climactic setup, where it didn't stall here, but it came all the way back down and got these bottoming tail bars. And then I bought it when it took these highs out right here. If 3 bars later, this wasn't showing a profit and was going up, I may not kill it, but it's a way of staying objective and saying, what, this thing isn't doing historically what it should do. Cut it in half, get out, reevaluate. It's not doing, the typical thing that the pattern does when we trade price patterns as technical traders. Based on the historical norm of what the pattern does, we have an expectation about what it'll do in the future. And if it doesn't do it in a certain amount of time, you reevaluate. It's that simple. So let's take a look at bonds before we go on. They're coming back in again, and that's helping the market. And just overall, the sideways move continues. And here's one of the ones that was damaged in a big way, and it's going sideways here pre-market. And I'm interested in this. I like the 30-minute chart, the retest pattern here, the ability to go up, the consolidation, and what I call creating support or transferring that resistance over here. What that means is, as prices come up to a resistance, you anticipate that there are going to be sellers, and if it's in a downtrend, it moves to the downside. And it didn't do that. It actually went sideways and it absorbed this supply over here. That's bullish. So now it's moved up into what I call a void, meaning as this came down hard, right? Momentum moved to the downside, time consolidation. It's creating this big area here of a void. In other words, there's no resistance. So if NVIDIA can get through this area here, I want to play this on the long side, looking for a move up. And as long as it doesn't go back down below here, a breakout failure, right? That happens sometimes. I'll be looking for this to continue to go up. And while it did have this giant down day, it did come down to an area of significant support, and it's holding. So let's see. So one of the concepts to acknowledge when we look at price patterns is that big red bars like this with volume are powerful. and they strongly suggest a continuation of that powerful move. However, if the damage can be repaired, so to speak, whereas prices go sideways a bit and then refuse to go down, and that's what's happening here, this is the weakest link in the chart because there's no resistance. Now, what has to happen, or what does happen when things are weak, is that prices go sideways for a bit, they can't rally, and then they roll back over again. So the bearish scenario would be just that, whereas today you got it negates this green bar, and then we go further down. So we have concepts that come together as strategies and trading plans that keep us in the moment and in objective about what things are saying, and then we just take new information as it develops and, you know, move with it accordingly. Okay, guys, so we got a little movement up here pre-market. You got NASDAQ up 22.75, S&P's up 6, Dow up looks like 37. So a little bit movement to the upside. We'll see how far it can go, or the lack thereof. Anyway, transports look good, so that's a good sign if they can get above. If you're looking at the IYT, the transport ETF, if you can get above 170, that's going to open up the door to the old high, and that'll be great for the market. Have a great trading day.